What up guys, ThatzNOTmetal983 here to bring you another CD review. This is going to be my first review of 2016. Not necessarily of 2016 because I've already reviewed Archrania's Totalitarian Dystopia as a kind of past review done now kind of thing. But this is going to be my first 2016 release review, and what a great way to start off with one of my most anticipated albums of 2016. Like, I've got a couple of ones coming up, like loads of people are looking forward to Metallica and shit, but this one was one of mine. And as you can read by the title, this is what I'm going to be reviewing for you today. Yeah, this is the 2016 album from Abbath, entitled Abbath, self-titled. This is released under Season of Mist Records. Now, everyone knows who Abbath is. He was the founding member and main guy and frontman everyone knows from the band Immortal. Now, back in 2014, maybe 2014, 2015, I'm sure it was 2015 though, but anyway, the band started to go through a bit of a rough patch. The band got sued a little bit because of their, and took to court because of the band name Immortal, apparently. Some shit to do with that. I didn't exactly read into it because I thought it was just bullshit and all that. It's just shit, really. But not long after that case, Abbath announced that he had parted ways with Immortal, and no one knew what was going to come of that. But then, not long after that, he announced that he was doing his own thing, basically, a kind of solo project, you could say, but then not too long following that, Immortal announced that they were still going to continue without Abbath, which I still think, in my opinion, it shouldn't really. It should be a new band name because Immortal is Abbath, and loads of people will agree with us. Some of you may disagree, but it's just my opinion. But anyway, moving on, and then we get the news that Abbath was teaming with King for this project, and that they were going to release an album. And obviously, with me being quite a big Immortal fan, I love most of their albums. There's only a couple which haven't really clicked with us, but I still love like Pure Holocaust, Battles in the North, and I do love Damned in Black. And in all honesty, I know it's kind of a bit of a touchy subject when it comes to Immortal, that All Shall Fall. Now, I really do like that album, and loads of people do, so whatever. But anyway, I was really looking forward to this album, and then they released a couple of live studio tracks and stuff like that, which got us quite excited. And then they announced the first single and released it, called Count the Dead, which I really, really enjoyed. And on the second track was a cover of Judas Priest, which, in my opinion, it was a really fucking weird track. It just came up with this weird characteristic of Immortal or Abbath or black metal turned new wave of British heavy metal kind of stuff. It was quite fucking weird, if you ask me, but I digged it. It was quite a different thing. And then when the album got announced, pre-orders and stuff like that, I immediately put a pre-order down for the box edition, which has the cover, and on the front there it reads Abbath Collector's Edition with CD with exclusive bonus track Nebula Raven's Winter. You also get a patch, wristband, pin and card. Immortal ex-frontman Abbath returns. So yeah, this is the box with the Abbath logo. Pretty cool. Yeah. Ooh, my bad. Drop the CD. Why not? Well done, Ryan. Anyway, moving on. You open it up. You get some cool artwork. The pin. It's a double pin, so you get two on the back. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And then you open up the left-hand side. You get the album on CD, which, funnily enough, I ripped this into iTunes as soon as I got it, and when the when you put it into your disc, it says that it's 9 tracks in total, but there's actually the 10th track, which is the Judas Priest cover, so I was pretty buzzed about that. But anyway, yeah, you open it up, you see the main guy himself, Abbath, and then you get a cool discount card thing, which is pretty cool. I'm probably just going to look on the Season of Mist and maybe pick up a shirt or something. Then you get a card with that cool artwork. The guys of Abbath, including Abbath, King, and that freaky guy called Creature, which I'll get into in a bit. And you obviously get a nice decent lyric book. Yep. And then you open up the other side, and as I said, there's a pin, 2 pins there connecting it, and you get King on bass and Creature on drums. And then in the centre, you find a die-cut patch of Abbath's logo, which I don't know if I'm going to end up sticking on a jacket. I want to, but it'll be quite difficult to stitch on and stuff. But anyway, and you also get a nice wristband, which I'm going to keep in its packaging because I don't wear wristbands a lot these days. It's more like a kind of wannabe metalhead kind of thing nowadays. But yeah. But the album itself, it's quite interesting, really. It's kind of a little bit different than I was expecting. It's kind of as if a new fresh face on the black metal scene. It's the best way I can describe it. The overall sound of this album, from the start, it kicks in with this monstrously heavy production, which kind of sounds like as if it was an old school death metal kind of production. But it's kind of comes in with this hard, thick sound and chug, and hard, harsh, impactful riffs, and you kind of think, wait a minute, am I listening to the right record here a little bit? But then you take a step back and you think, well, this is just Abbath doing what he wants to do, so let's give it a shot. And then you listen to the progression through the album, and it kind of dwells from a little bit more of a death metal kind of influence black metal, not necessarily black and death metal. I'm talking like as if some riffs kind of influenced by death metal, but taking on the black metal, like obviously style and stuff. And that's what I enjoyed when this album kicks in. It kind of takes in that kind of aspect. And then the progression through the album, it starts to dwell more and more into stereotypical Immortal sound, like old school. Sorry, not new. I'm talking new school, like All Shall Fall kind of style. But it's still got that really thick production, very audible. The drums are really well played, well executed. If you don't know who Creature actually is, he's, from what I've read on Metal Encyclopedia, he's not in the band anymore. He is the drummer for Benighted, from what I've read up, and obviously everyone knows who Benighted are, one of the best technical death metal, death grind bands going about, and really well executed. Nothing too over the top grindy as Benighted is, but there's some really nice grooves in there and some heavy pounding drum sounds and really well executed patterns. It's not exactly reinventing the wheel. It's more how could I describe it? Like a really well executed drum performance that's not really showing off in any way. It's just straight to the point, and that's a good thing. King, everyone knows who King is in black metal. He's obviously been known for his days in Gorgoroth, and he nowadays, I believe, he's in a band called Godseed, which I have actually checked out. Godseed, and I think I've only done one album, I could be wrong, but the album which I checked out of them is fucking phenomenal. But anyway, back to this one. His bass execution is very, very well done. Plays spot on with Abbath on those riffs and stuff, and the production value of the bass is well endowed into the mix, and it gives it a bit more of a oomph and a kick in the face kind of vibe. I think that really comes from the death metal aspect of this album, and that's personally what I feel anyway. The guitar riffs and stuff like that are really fantastic. There's a great like atmosphere to it. It's the way Abbath likes to write stuff. It's quite a bit of a folky kind of riffs here and there, but it still keeps that stereotypical black metal stuff. But then there's these odd chugs which just add to this new depth, in my opinion, that Immortal couldn't portray. But now that Abbath's doing this, and it's his way, no one else's way, it's kind of reinventing the wheel kind of stuff. There's been a few bands doing this like kind of style, but none quite as in this style that Abbath is portraying on this record. Vocally, now, it's kind of very harsh, very stereotypical of Abbath. If you know Abbath's vocal style over the past couple of Immortal albums, then you know what you're going to expect with this album. But it's very well executed, very well thought out lyrics. There's some great lyrics on this album, and definitely something that someone, for me, it took me a while to get into Immortal, and that just at the time when I couldn't get into them was because I never really truly dug black metal. But when I started listening to it a little bit more, I started to get fixation on it, and now I can't stop listening to the likes of Pure Holocaust and Ultra All and Battles in the North, obviously. But vocally, great stuff, well executed, and I have to say, because loads of people will be thinking this, comparing this to Immortal is probably a little bit wrong, but it's always going to be there when it comes to Abbath. And personally, I can see how this has a bit more of a creative feel to it, and it definitely has a different perspective compared to the likes of the Immortal discography, if you know, catch me drift. Yeah, what more can I say? I think it's a great start for Abbath. The only thing that I would say that I'm not so keen on this album is the production. Like, for all it's a thick sound and in-your-face kind of production, I kind of just feel like it was a little bit too thick, if you know what I mean. For those who've listened to the album might agree with us. It's a great listen, and the production is great, but I don't think it gives the album justice the way it should. Like, I've talked about the death metal riffs and how they're a bit original, but I think it should have been just a little bit more tight, like, you know, like, not as thick sounding. I think it needs to be a little bit more necro for us to a little bit enjoy it a little bit more, and that's just my personal taste. Excuse me. That's just my taste when it comes to this album. I think it's a great album and it's a great listen. I just think the production was just a little bit too thick and meaty for it to be a stereotypical, enjoyable black metal album. But for the value it is of a black metal album with a bit of a death metal vibe, it kind of works well. But I think if it had a little bit more of a like thinner production, you could say. Excuse me. If it had that, I think I would have enjoyed it that little bit more. But to me, it's a great listen, great album, but I think there's just something missing there in the production and something that can maybe be worked on for the next album. I would like it a little bit clean in the production matter and not a stick sound, and that's what I would like to see when it comes to the next Immortal release. Sorry, I'm probably just going to get punched there. But anyway, but when it comes to the next Abbath release, and I really want it to be a little bit more necro, a little bit more harsher, not as thick sounding. That's just my opinion. But overall, good album. Definitely check this out. I'd have to say, for a score, I think I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. I think a solid 7 out of 10 is a very good score for this album and a great start for Abbath. They've definitely he's definitely made a fan out of me, because I knew he was going to execute a great album, and that's what he's done there. Maybe this album will click a little bit more as time goes on. I mean, we're only getting into 2016 and stuff, so there's still a couple more albums, and yeah, I definitely think a 7 out of 10 is definitely a solid score for him. But yeah, this is my first 2016 album to review. I'm going to try and keep as consistent as I can with the reviews of 2016 releases, as constant as I can and as fresh as I can. I don't want to be reviewing an album coming out in, say, March, and then as reviewing it, say, September or October. I don't want to get that. I want to keep as consistent as I can, and that way I can present my opinions a little bit more frequent to you lot of me subscribers. So to all those who have subscribed recently, thanks a lot, and thanks to everyone who has checked out my super metal recommendations video. That's linked in the description, as well as all the links to Abbath, and I'll also leave a link to where I actually got this album. I got it through UKEM Records, which is a great extreme metal label, dwelling into thrash, death metal, black metal, doom metal, all the forms of extreme metal. Check them out. Awesome label. Check it out down below. But yeah, I'll see you until the next video, and stay metal. See you later.